guys and girls, welcome to StakeCenter, episode 8, sponsored by Stake Kings and PokerFlops. Make sure to hit that notification bell and to comment, like, and subscribe on the video if you enjoy the content that we're putting out. Today, we have a very special guest, PokerFaceAsh. And as always, we're going to start with Dom and the news. Take it away, Dom.
All right. We're going to start with Vanessa Kade's $1.5 million Sunday million win. I'm going to start with PokerFaceAsh on this. Have you ever got a chance to, well, did you see the story? Have you ever got a chance to play the Sunday million or a field that size?
I've never played the Sunday Million because PokerStars became illegal back during the time that I started playing online poker. So I've been watching from the sidelines, but oh my goodness, talk about like the perfect storm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, how much better could it get? She's all over the news for all sorts of different stuff. Who are you, Vanessa Kade? Oh, I'm going to win the Sunday Million for $1.5 million. It's pretty easy. I don't know if anyone caught like the Twitter down the stretch on day 3 where people were like trying to buy pieces of her action. She had 100% of herself. She said, whatever happens, happens. I thought that was one of the most baller moves ever. Pretty easy to like get swindled into like selling. I mean, it's a big spot, right? Like, you know, 50th is probably maybe like 20 grand and first is 1.5 million. Obviously 20 grand nice doesn't change your life. 1.5 million does. Rick, PokerFlops Bob, have you ever navigated one of these big fields before? What do we think? Rick, you had experience in this.
And how big of a field was it exactly?
Oh, 70,000 people, Ricky Pine. You couldn't even beat the main event field of 8,000 people. They knocked you out in 45th. Vanessa got through 70,000.
I don't know that I've ever played a tournament that size before. But I was around before Black Friday, so I was able to play all those Sunday Millions, and I don't think I ever played one of them. I don't even know how that's a real thing.
Yeah, it's like, how do you make it that far and beat that many people?
Yeah.
Like, someone has to do it, but like, how is it ever going to be you?
Dom and I throw 150 lineups into basketball every night. We have 150 bullets, and we can't even like get a top 10 snip with like double the field. So I don't know how you
I would love to talk to Vanessa. Did you catch any of the Twitch stream, Ashley, by any chance?
I didn't, and I'm kind of sad I missed it. Like, to see that live would have been incredible. But for women everywhere, especially women in poker, like one of the reasons that I've kind of been a little bit forward with like trying to be more prominent on social media and stuff is to, you know, stick up for the women and show that, hey, we can play poker too. And so this is just a huge win for all women in poker. And I feel so proud of her, and I don't even know her. So
yeah, I was going to ask you if you knew
I mean,
her
not going to lie, when I play live and there's a woman next to me, I'd give her way more respect than the rest of the players, because I know if you're in there battling, you're usually much better than the rest of the donkeys I play with live.
I would love to know how the final table went. Humble brag, I did make the final table of the Sunday Million. I didn't get first, but I would love to know if there was any chop talk and if she ever got into a discussion. You can chop it on PokerStars final tables. You can just click the little deal button. Someone will come in. They'll talk to you if you want to have any chops. Looks like she just shipped it for 1.5. I have no idea if at any point she was just like chip leading the whole thing and she just, you know, cruised to the final, but that would be a cool thing to know. But what a nice little win for Vanessa Kade. Saw she had some bank trouble, by the way. I don't know if anyone saw that. She tried to like get money off into a bank, and HSBC or whatever was just like, you didn't win 1.5.
They're like, no way, this isn't you. Like, you didn't.
They were like, nope, that didn't happen. And she was like, no, it did, and I would love to get it into a bank if possible. So kind of a funny side note there. A little bit more news, BBZ drama. Ginger Poker comes out with a BBZ course. They pay him to do a course, and they look at the final product and they're like, we don't really like your course. So they pay him for his time, don't release the course. Rick, I have a question for you. Ginger Poker came out and basically said, BBZ, you have complicated bullshit on your stuff. It's not that great. I'm calling for the release of this unreleased course that
release the course right now. We need
release the Ginger Poker course, because I'm curious, do you think there's any chance that Ginger Poker's course could be a winning, like if a player watched it, it could make them a winning player? It just doesn't have the quality of wizardry that BBZ is, you know. I mean, listen, they have very good players that work for BBZ and put out bundles. John Van Vliet, one of your good friends. puts out a tournament bundle. If you've ever seen it, it's in super detail, right? John's a genius. Could Ginger Pokers be a winning bundle, just not up to their standards? Release the bundle.
To say BBZ has good players is
Exactly
ultimately very, very disrespectful. They have some of the most elite players in the world. And so, yeah, like it just made me never want to ever submit anything to BBZ and have my heart crushed for like what they think that I thought about poker. But yeah, like it could easily be winning and just not up to the standards of the wizardry. And that's probably exactly what's happening here.
fair enough. I'm calling for the release. I want to see Ginger Poker play some 2-5.
I want to see the course. I want to see the bundle. Maybe I can learn something, you know?
All right, we're going to get into the stakings part of the show. First, we're going to take a look at last week's stakes.
This week, I'm going with Slayer V1 for Joshua Host. I'm buying 10%, $265.
I had a talk with John Van Fleet, $259.
I'm going to go to Christian Haspina this week. I think I'm buying around 20% of him for about $300. Okay, this is where I would usually go to our guest or Bob or Rick, but I'm going to take the time and I'm going to start with myself, if you don't mind. I'm going to start with my stake of last week. I had 20% of Christian Haspina. He was playing the Punta Cana COVID Open. I call it the COVID Open because I couldn't believe they still had a tournament in Punta Cana that he satellited in on Poker Bros and then sold his action. Christian Haspina locked up second place money. We're not sure how much because we think there might have been a deal.
It was a deal that was made.
He won at least 70K. That books me 15. You guys can't win unless you pick someone that you guys are going to lose this season. So Flo's gonna win the staking thing. Christian Haspina, second place, maybe more. That was my pick, and he won me money. PokerFlops, Bob, who'd you have and how'd they do? Not as well as Christian.
One fan.
Ooh.
Did not cash. Had 10% of him in the tournament. I mean, just he didn't cash. Nothing I can do.
Unfortunately. Before I go to Rick, Ashley, have you had any? Are you familiar with stakings, and would you ever sell any of your action on there, maybe in the future?
Yes, and yes. I think I have sold on there for the World Series a couple years ago, but I had so many like close friends and people who I was kind of doing staking with, so I didn't really need that. But I was totally planning on putting a massive package together for the World Series last year, but of course that didn't happen. So in the near future, definitely going to put some big packages on there for Vegas or wherever I end up playing next.
Cool.
Sounds good. Listen, Vanessa Kade 1.5. As we've talked about, Katie Stone is on an absolute heater. Women in poker are winning some stuff. So if you see Ashley's action on there, we might as well
buy that up.
You might want to grab some.
I'm due for a big one. I'll tell you that one right now.
And she's due. The due method's real. If you've never heard of the
due method is so real.
The due method's real. So yeah, grab some of that. Ricky Fine, who'd you have? How'd they do?
I originally had bought just John Van Fleet, and then quickly after the show, he must have canceled his staking because I got refunded. So I quickly went back in. I bought $89 of Joey Wiseman's 200K fifth bullet, and it cashed for a profit of $455. I bought Katie Stone for $61 in a legacy circuit event. She did not cash, unfortunately. And then I bought
the wrong Katie Stone.
I know.
Wrong Katie Stone piece, huh? That's.
And I had $80 left to throw at a John Van Fleet 630 high roller. He cashed for me for $340. So a very good profit last week, but unfortunately, not only are we not going to be able not only are we not going to win, we're not even going to be able to buy something that has the ability to win after what you did last week. So thanks. Good game.
I love that. That's what Christian Haspina does in the Punta Cana COVID Open. You guys looked into it and you understood that the field in the Punta Cana COVID Open wasn't going to be too strong, and my boy Christian Haspina was going to probably take it down. You would have had a chance. I do have interesting. What was I going to say about Mr. John Van Vliet? I'm not sure. Let's go to Ashley's picks for this week, and then I'll get back to them.
All right. Well, I definitely got to go with my girl, Katie Stone. She is on fire, and I can speak from firsthand experience. When you bank a tournament and you feel like you can't lose, and so I definitely got to go with her. So we're going to do the Sunday high roller $500 buy-in 6K guarantee. And yeah, I'm
Keep it rolling with Katie Stone.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Listen,
keep it rolling.
Katie Stone.
When you're winning, everything makes sense. When you're losing, you sometimes don't know how to play the game, right? It makes
You question if you ever knew how to play the game.
I question that a lot.
Isn't it the truth? Ricky Pine, who we got this week?
Who did I buy this week? I'm big on Chris Oliver. He has 4 tournaments for me, all 1.23 to 1.27 markup, 30K guaranteed, a PKO, hyper turbo. So I've got 60%, 58%, 30%, and 30%. I'm trying to catch up in heaps. So I'm trying to get large portions of him. So I'm all in on Chris Oliver this week.
All right.
I like it. By the way, I did remember what I was going to say. So somehow you bought the 5th bullet of Joey Wiseman. He got to the 5th bullet and then cashed it. That's what happened.
That's exactly what happened. When you know bullets and the psychology behind
I tried this 1-4 play, 1-3 play. He went just the 5 play.
The straight 5-0-5.
He just went to 5th bullet and he went to the 5th bullet, and wow, that's impressive.
Last
By the
time I
way,
did the
we missed
1-3,
on
he
Joey
only
Wiseman too.
2.
Joey Wiseman also binked a tournament for like 200K. We've bought in Joey Wiseman probably like 5 out of the 8 weeks. Unfortunately, we did not buy him the week he shipped his tournament, which makes sense. PokerFlops, Bob, who do you have this week?
You got John Van Fleet he's selling 3 bullets of the 30 on ACR. I got $125 worth of that for a 75K guarantee. And I've got the German, Manny Glossers, faking die Deutsch, in 11 million in live cashes. He's a GTO robot
He's 11 million in live cashes?
Yeah.
Wow.
Aria high roller, rake free, so we're getting value. No rake.
Ooh, the rake free high roller.
And he promises on Stake Kings that he will register on time.
Wow.
Well, I saw that. That's a great.
Once I saw that, I was like, you know what? He's going to register on time. There's no rake. I'm buying 1%.
I like it.
For $132.
I think I saw Mr. Joey Wiseman write on one of his bullets, will probably late reg. And I think that's a very nice thing to let the people know what they're buying. Hey, listen, this is going to be a high variance bullet, but we're still pretty good.
I saw high roller, no rake, reg on time. Let's do it.
I think that is important for sure.
Boom.
Yeah, I agree, Ashley. That's a very nice thing for them to do. Just to let the people know what they're buying. All right, I'm going to take my winnings and just kind of disperse them throughout stakings because I can. Because I'm going to have 15,000 to do whatever I want with. So we're going to buy a little bit of John Van Vliet also in the ACR 630. He's got 3 bullets for that, 50K. He's run pretty hot on ACR. We got to talk, Rick. We got to talk to him about this ace 3 hand. But he's running hot on ACR. Should have won the 1K. I think he ended up getting 3rd or 4th for a huge score. Every Sunday he's winning something, so he's doing pretty well. Joey Wiseman in the 1K on WSOP.com. The Silver Legacy Circuit event, bullet number 2, could not get bullet number 1. It's sold out. Joey Wiseman is hot, so you don't always get the first bullet. Those are going to be my pick. 1.4 and 1.35 markup. No markup police there. Both very good players. Getting John still at 1.35 seems insane when people are selling at 1.5. So those are always good buys. We talked a little bit about markup, Ashley. I'm sure you're aware. It's tough to find the correct markups for these things, but I'm for sure I know John's winning at his, so we'll stick with that. All right, sports. First, we're going to take a look at last week's picks. Houston seems like a pretty good bet at this point. They're in the Sweet 16. They're going to find the Final Four. Probably ship the whole thing at 13-1.
Well, we're going to talk about Loyola Chicago, and they're facing Oregon State, and they're going to get it done. -6.5. Lay the points.
Australian rules football. I have Geelong over Brisbane. Okay.
Okay. Who did we have last week, PokerFlops, Bob? And how did they do? Did we get a winner for the people?
Loyola Chicago. Sister Jean. She said the prayers. They didn't come through.
She prayed and they didn't win.
Big L for Loyola Chicago. The Ramblers couldn't get it done. So another L for Poker.
So fade the Bob because Loyola Chicago was just on their glory run until you picked them to win, and then it was just over.
Yeah, it was definitely my fault they lost.
Oh. Either you or the prayers. We'll figure out which one.
Probably
Ricky Pine. Oh, sorry, before we go to Ricky Pine's last week pick, let's who do you have this week for us? Who are we fading this week, Bob?
Oh, we're fading. We're the over on the Zags. Gonzaga, undefeated team. They're putting up 92 points a game. The over's at 152.5. We're just going to ride the undisputed squad. They're going to run Run it up. You know, they're going to hit some threes, going to
so-
score a lot. We're going to take the over.
I'm
It's a high
definitely,
over.
All right,
Oh,
so-
actually definitely betting the under.
That is like the biggest
Right.
fade I've ever
Yeah.
heard. The
Yeah.
Zags might shoot their like season low from 3. Before I go to you, Rick, Ashley, I believe in one of your vlogs I saw you make. Was it like one of your first sports bets? Can you talk about your sports bet? I think it was the Phoenix Suns.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'm like the worst gambler ever. I don't really like do anything besides poker, so I'd never placed a sports bet. So I went up to the cage and I'm like, can I just bet for the Suns to win? And they're like, what are you talking about? So of course they gave me the outright win bet, and the Suns have been playing well, so I won that bet, and I parlayed it on the next game, and they won that one. So I'm up in my sports betting, and I think I'm just done. You know, I think I'm gonna take
2-0 in sports.
I'm gonna take my $200 and I'm never touching sports betting again.
Wow, this is actually
Right?
shocking news here on
Right?
StakeCenter. We're gonna have our only winning sports bettor ever, if that's a real thing.
You know what? I might go down in history for that.
Actually,
That's the
I'm willing
only
to
thing.
bet you $100 lifetime free roll that you will bet another sporting event. If you want to. You can take a $100 free roll bet that you will bet at least one more sporting event in your lifetime.
Well, you know what? Because the Suns have been
I
doing
feel-
so
I
well.
feel-
It's been fun. It's been fun to
Yeah.
bet on my own
It's
team
your-
for once,
yeah.
you know?
It's already
See.
over.
I told someone I would never play roulette again, and that lasted 1 week.
Well, you're
so,
good
you
at
know.
it, dude. You know.
I'm a good
Right?
roulette player. Somebody, Ricky Pine, who'd you have last week? Did you bounce back from your first loss ever?
My first loss ever in Stake Kings, I did bounce back. Geelong at Bisbane in rugby. They won by 1 goal, so $130 to win 100. So I'm back into the win column this week.
Did the backup player like do well, like you predicted, or
He had 2 cruxes, which is
I
rugby
don't know what
goal.
that means?
I made that up, but I don't think anyone would have ever questioned it if I didn't say that.
Well done.
And then are we
All
allowed
right,
to on the show? Can I cross book Bob like on the show for his?
Yes. Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
I would officially like to cross book Bob. So if Bob wins this, I'm going to lose an additional. And if he wins, if I win the bet, then he has to pay
Explain to
my side.
People how cross booking works. Fine, please. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So you're gonna cross book Bob's bet, and now do you also have a bet for us this week, an actual winner?
I do have a bet for you guys this week. I'm going back to the well. I didn't feel very good about giving out a losing bet this week, so I went back to my my sports guru who has got me on India for cricket again. They play New Zealand upcoming. They are plus 108. It's plus 122. I guess very good odds for the top. Plus 108. India at New Zealand. They've really adapted to this pink ball that they put into play. They're ready to do it for me at plus 108.
Actually, if you haven't noticed, me and Bob pick normal. Rick's our cricket, our dart, our rugby expert.
And also 8.
Wow.
Like,
I didn't
right.
even know that was a thing.
See?
Wow.
You're next. If you're looking next time you're in the casino, you're looking for a cricket match to bet that you want to watch. Just call up Rick. He'll,
I'm gonna hit up Rick for sure.
He'll-
Okay.
Yep.
Noted.
He'll definitely help you out. All right. Well, I'm just gonna talk about how I had Houston in the Final Four. I gave them out before the tournament at somewhere between 12 and 21 to 1. I know that's a large gap there, but you know my book here on ACR. I live in America. It's terrible. I had 12.5 to 1. I think some books had them at 21 to 1. I also gave them last week against Syracuse, I believe. They covered, obviously. So Houston, we're just going to ride Houston.
Houston is Bitcoin, right?
Houston is Bitcoin. Yeah, we've talked about this. We don't know why we buy it, but it goes up. You just listen. Houston, bet Houston. Don't worry about the points. Just bet them. Minus 110. You'll be good. I want to give an extra pick this week. West Brom is playing Chelsea in the English Premier League. If you watch soccer, they're plus 1,300. Chelsea is a bad soccer team. They're not good. So West Brom's going to do the upset there. I'll give an extra pick there. That was our Indian friend. He locked. He said Chelsea was a lock. I'm
Chelsea's a
fade
lock,
our
so we
Indian
gotta
friend
fade.
Rook.
Done.
We're gonna do the
I'd
fade
like
on.
to, I actually unfortunately have to amend my pick. It will not be done by next week, and I don't want to do that to the listener. So I'm off the cusp, going to give you a West Indies victory over Sri Lanka. We're sticking with cricket, plus 116 West Indies.
All right, we're gonna
West
switch it up to the West Indies.
I feel less good about this pick, but it is what it is.
Sounds good. Ashley, if you were gonna bet another sporting event again, what's your favorite one to watch? What were you gonna go with?
100%. Gotta go with the NBA, the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, you might just bet the Suns until you lose. All right.
I've been a diehard fan since I was like 5 years old. So.
Okay.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. All right, Phoenix Suns for her third bet, which will probably be sooner than she thinks. All right. Sports done. Staking done. Like and subscribe.
Comment,
Ash knows
like,
too.
subscribe.
Comment. You got to do all the YouTube stuff. That's you just gotta. Whatever the buttons down there, you got to
all the buttons.
all the buttons. Click them if you can. Discord. Get in the Discord. People are talking poker. If you like poker, get in the Discord. They're talking poker. Appreciate you coming on, Ashley.
Thank you for having me. This was a blast.
No problem. Next week. Like,
See you
subscribe.
guys next week.